Welcome to Poets from the Neighborhood. I am VeerajaR.
And I'm Jeff Hardin. We hope you'll enjoy the poems we'll be reading today, poems written by your friends and neighbors. This is one of my poems concerning a right devotion to Darnell Arnault. This voice, I grant it may be mine, though if you need it for your own, I will grant it to you. If yours is lonely, grieved, weakened by this brutal world, our voices together can wander along, inspecting the presence of leaves drifting on a mountain stream the town's center keeps a secret. I believe in providence. Perhaps I should say this voice believes, for it goes ahead of me, preparing a way. I follow. And always I'm uncertain where we're being summoned to. But if it invites into ourselves the wakening of blooms each April along a woods line of dogwoods, then I'll agree that more is happening to us than we deserve, more than we invent on our behalf. I hold that we should whisper words into the lives of others, though I'm not prepared to say which ones will lead us where we need to go. Alive could be a start, or winter light, or lingering. I love the word allegiance for its invitation to a faithfulness that says that each of us is an homage to who another might become if only each could find the right devotion. Yes, at least for now, we share this earth. We share that we can share a voice. And what in its becoming it becomes will take us both to hear, to follow where its slightest shadows slide above the darker stones and stems lying all around us in an age where maps have lost their way.
I'll be reading throughout this month some special poems honoring the memory of our friend Nancy Fletcher-Blume, who has passed on heavenwards this June 22nd. The first poem I'm going to read is Finger Diamonds, written by Nancy Fletcher-Blume herself. I sit most hot summer nights, absent of rings on my hand, well into the evening on my porch, occasionally rocking, looking at stars and thinking of diamonds. They are everywhere. Tonight, I feel a stirring desire for finger diamonds. I search my cupboard shelves and see an old mason fruit jar. I smile. A few hole punches later, and I am eagerly slipping off my shoes to walk barefooted deep into the dew-wet grass. I reach upward into the humid night for the diamonds. One by one, I place them in my jar. And now, sitting on my steps, I gently take these delicate diamonds and place them on my fingers. I allow myself but a few fleeting moments, enjoyment, before I remove my diamonds and watch them take to air. I cannot follow them. They are forever free. I can only imagine.
Taking up the cause of affection. This far into a new millennium, who speaks of affection for meadow sweet or flocks just off the path, bent over and breathed in? A shovel used to stand a step inside the barn. One could reach in without looking, without having to wonder what contentment was. Shakespeare couldn't keep the marigold from his poem, nor Rilke a panther from looking out between bars. After a storm, I'm left a yard of twigs. On up into day, the nouns and verbs I live with deepen, drawing me in. Saying them, I feel myself enduring, long past my name. With midsummer coming, the beans get ready to send forth runners. I suspect, beneath words we share, some farther reaching grips the earth.
The next poem, Spaces Invisible, a poem from my book, Joy of Being. In a moment, life changes, burst like rainbow bubbles. Bright sun get clouded over. But we have seen the rainbow filling across the horizon, bubbles rising to the top, in spaces invisible, vivid and cheerful wherever the memories are held. You smile your vibrancy, coming with open arms, saying, "Good job," and I feel your pat on my back. All this while I have my eyes closed. I see you so vividly and full of life wherever the memories are held.
This is called Late September from my most recent collection, No Other Kind of World. What we're talking about here is the loss of so many gone away from where we are. You can say to heaven if you believe, but for the time being, they are gone from us. And we go on sitting in the early mornings, counting berries weighing down crepe myrtle limbs, or watching the sycamore sense its slightest sway. Sometimes, late September, I remember them, my dead, and think that I go out from where I am, as one might go down from a porch, and then take 2 steps off the bottom board, as if nearing a sound just barely there. And maybe it matters to have these moments alone with the ones who mattered most to us, to have the absence wholly present, simply to stand for a time in the being of not being. I'll admit that's hard to comprehend, especially alone, without another voice to help along the kind of understanding that comes when 2 or more are gathered. What we're talking about here is the space between the sounds of the woodpecker's search for what's beneath the bark, the hunger each knows and flings against, over and over, until there's no sound between the lack of sound, and no tree, and no field, and ever and only the sky.
The last poem, Midnight, by Louise Colln. Caught in a midnight storm, in a southern country town, I merged with ancient structures, standing solid round the square, just as tall as their church spires. I let old buildings take me to times before and after, in between the glory wars. Show me the wagons, cars, and airplanes, trains snaking through their valleys, when the people built their futures, as they built these solid structures, just as tall as their church spires. Once a train that snaked at midnight round my bed woke me from an echoed dream, in which Spirit told me twice, "Stop, go back. The road we are on goes nowhere." "And where?" I questioned the Spirit. "Do you think we choose to go? Should we stay or leave these buildings standing solid round the square, just as tall as their church spires. Thank you for watching Poets from the Neighborhood. We hope you will join us again soon.